44 degrees, dry and clear at MetLife Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands as the New York Jets take the field. And quarterback Tim Boyle will make his first start as a Jet against MVP candidate Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins on this Black Friday special on Prime Video. Al Michaels with Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartime. For the long-suffering Jets fan base, they had Super Bowl dreams until the fourth play of the season when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. So here we are. The team is 4-6. Their playoff hopes are hanging by a thread. They start a career backup quarterback today in place of Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle. So tell me, it begs the question, how does a team averaging 15 points a game, the Jets, beat a team averaging 31 points a game?
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm asking you if there's a chance.
Well, I think the big thing is, Al, that Boyle comes in not to save the day and throw for 300 yards. Just be able to run an efficient offense. They need to rely on their defense and special teams and turnover margin. Doesn't have to be pretty, but just be effective and be decisive and just clean up the operation. That could give them a chance to win this game.
So the Jets go up against a team that's as entertaining as any team in the league. They're like a track meet, speed everywhere on offense. The defense seems to be coming together. 10 games in your eyes, how do they stack up?
I think anybody who watches football across the entire league, you can't help but be impressed by the speed. The quarterback right now, Tua Tagovailoa, executing at MVP level. And I think with Vic Fangio in his first year, the defense looks like it's getting better and better. So it all looks good. But this is a tricky game for them. A divisional opponent on the road. They need to show some maturity and take care of business.
Happy day after. The NS is kicking in. So let's have a blast. It's the Jets and the Dolphins on this Black Friday Prime Special. Ways to watch today include our Prime Vision with Next Gen Stats broadcast featuring player tracking and defensive alerts. You can also watch along with Dude Perfect or in Spanish with Black Friday Football and Espanol. To the field we go. And to Kaylee Hartung. Kaylee.
Hey Al, Tyreek Hill asked himself, how can I become one of the best receivers of all time? He was coming off of a 1,700-yard campaign, and with Calvin Johnson holding the single-season record at 1,964, he thought this offseason 2,000. That was the mark he wanted to hit, and every day since, he told me he's woken up telling himself he is going to break this record and achieve his goal. Now 10 games in, he is on pace to do both, and he is determined to play through the pain he says he is feeling in his right hand today after injuring it Sunday. He told me it hurts real bad when he tries to catch a football. That hand is still swollen, and yet he does not expect it to limit him tonight, saying, once the adrenaline begins to run, I'll probably forget all about it.
Yeah, always a lot of fun to watch. Hurt his hand last week, but none the worse for wear. There are the standings right now. Dolphins have already had their bye. The Bills haven't. 7-3 are Miami, Buffalo 6-5. Jets are 4-6. So it's never do or die really until you're dead, but it's pretty close today. Beautiful day in the Meadowlands. Jets will get the ball. Miami won the toss. They've deferred. Jason Sanders to kick off. Xavier Gipson back to receive for New York. And off we go on Black Friday from the Meadowlands, starting at the 25-yard line, and immediately we will see the new Jets quarterback. Tim Boyle went to Connecticut for 3 years, college football, then went to Eastern Kentucky for 1. Been around in Green Bay for 3 years, backed up Aaron Rodgers, went to Detroit, played 3 games when Jared Goff got hurt, went to Chicago at the end of last year, came here, and here he is. Something new, something different. Can he give them a spark? Breece Hall is the running back. And he goes nowhere against that Dolphin defense. That's Bradley Chubb right there making the stop. We were talking to Robert Saleh about the quarterback change and all of that. He says, hey, maybe he's the next Kurt Warner. They can only pray.
Yeah, exactly. I think for fans that aren't familiar with him, and many aren't, he brings poise. I think what you saw last week is when he throw the ball, one of the problems with Zach Wilson is he held the ball too long. A lot of sacks, a lot of turnovers. I think tonight it's just about cleaning things up, and when they do throw, get the ball out of his hands, especially against this Dolphins defense.
So the Jets now backup quarterbacks on the sideline. Nice run here out to the 32-yard line. Setting up a 3rd down and 2 And Jerome Baker is a little slow in arising and hops back to the defensive huddle. Third down.
Think about this. This is an offense that has scored 1 touchdown in the last 46 possessions. So for Tim Boyle tonight, it's, again, showing poise and making good decisions.
So Aaron Rodgers on the sideline.
Let's go, Oklahoma!
They do a lot of the Jets games since the injury. 3rd and 2. They go no huddle here. And you've got a flag and a free play. And the pass is caught up at the 37-yard line. So either way, they were going to wind up with a first down here because Bradley Chubb came across the line.
Yeah, showing that experience with Aaron Rodgers. You know, they used that hard count at a great time there on 3rd down and short.
So with Aaron, he was in Green Bay 3 years. 2 of those with Nathaniel Hackett, who's his offensive coordinator now with the Jets. John Hussey is our referee.
That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And honestly, I think that's why he's on the roster. You know, Nathaniel Hackett's background and experience with him in those couple years in Green Bay and his familiarity with the scheme. That's the thing that I think will be different to fans watching is he has command of the offense because of his time in Green Bay. He's a guy that even when he was the 3rd guy this year, he's showing up at 6 in the morning, always prepping and always showing up and doing the right thing.
And speaks glowingly of his time with Rodgers. Play action, pass is high and incomplete there, intended for Jeremy Ruckert. So for Boyle, there they are in Green Bay. You know, it's funny because you look at, and again, another shot, Rodgers, Hackett, and Boyle. We told you before, went to Connecticut, and his statistics in college were awful. The other day, in his words, he said they're piss poor, and they're worse than that. But he got a chance.
He had a great pro day, he said. Green Bay happened to be there, and they invited him in.
They did. Brees Hall is the running back, and he gets corralled behind the line of scrimmage. Jalen Phillips, number 15, is right there. That Dolphin defense, which, of course, was paling in comparison to the offense early in the season, but now really starting to come on.
Yeah, Vic Fangio, one thing you always think about is having great outside linebackers, and he's got Chubb on one side and Phillips on the other, and we always equate great outside backers in this scheme with their ability to rush the quarterback. But Vic Fangio quickly to point out how good these guys are at setting that edge. A great example there by Phillips.
So 5 wide, including Dalvin Cook, who is in the game. 4-man rush. Boyle throws, caught up at the 40-yard line, but well shy of the first down. Garrett Wilson making the catch there. So they picked up a first down off the penalty and now have to punt.
Keep in mind, we're going to talk so much about Boyle, but Robert Salah also talking to us on the field before the game. This offensive line, and we'll talk more about it. It has been, you know, a revolving door, having their 8th different offensive line combination today. So when they get in 3rd and long, they're in big trouble protecting the
15th here in the league. Most of those with the Saints early on. Braxton Berrios to run it back. Fair catch called for, made 15-yard line, and that's where the Miami Dolphins will start their first drive with Tua Tagovailoa coming out. 15-yard line. Miami begins this drive with a Mostert run. He goes nowhere, and right there, Quinnen Williams, number 95, taking him down for a loss, and now you got some action on the field, and you got flags all over the place.
With this offensive line moving around some new pieces
After the
up
play was
front.
over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 70. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Yeah, the flags were flying. Quentin Jefferson flagged.
Well, this Jets defense came out even when we were at the break.
The penalty was a dead ball foul, so it was enforced from the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, they're bouncing around, showing a lot of energy, and then they make a big play with Quinnen Williams, and then all that is taken away because of a dead ball foul right here after the whistle with Jefferson. I mean, that was, I think the timing of that is when it was called, well after the whistle. Sometimes we see that and we think, that wasn't that bad, but I think if you realized how late it came and caught the attention of the official.
The enforcement of the penalty was after the play was over. Therefore, we're going to enforce it from the 11-yard line to the 26, and it's an automatic first down.
And Robert Saleh just took Jefferson out of the game and replaces him with Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, the intent there with the headbutt, you got a lot of energy here early, penned them back inside the 20 to 15. That's a big deal for this defense. You know, they want 3 and outs, and they want to give their offense great field position, so they make a mental error here on the first play.
Play action. Tagovailoa, the only left-handed starting quarterback in the league. It's dropped and then recovered at the 32-yard line. Mostert is there, had it, dropped it, recovered it. Ashton Davis covering on the play. Gain of 5.
Really good job by Davis there in coverage, and even a better job by the defense forcing Tua to have to work back all the way to his third option. That ball is out. That's a live ball. Miami fortunate to get back on it. They're going to take. They're actually going to challenge this, Al.
Well, Hussey goes over to check with Saleh.
The New York Jets are challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch. Timeout.
So that challenge comes less than 4 minutes into the game. Take another look. Did he control it? Did he not? Terry McCauley indicates incomplete. We'll see. They'll review. The call has been reversed because it's ruled that Mostert at 2 feet down didn't take a move after that. So the Jets do win the challenge. And it makes it 2nd down and 10 instead of 2nd down and 5. But Kirk, you know, you make a challenge like that early on a relatively inconsequential play. And, you know, you wonder, does it come back, especially if you lose it, then you're only down to 1. You don't see too many early challenges.
No, you don't see that often, but I think it shows you the confidence in how much they knew that this was going to be reversed. And also, they get Tua behind the sticks by getting that incompletion.
But now Hill has it, and Hill is out of bounds after a couple. Let's take a look at some of the Tagovailoa statistics this year, and they are great. 70%, almost 3,000 yards, 2.5 to 1 touchdown to interception ratio, 21 touchdowns, 3rd in the NFL. And you think back to last year, those 2 serious concussions. He even thought about, well, maybe it's time to retire, but here he is coming back and playing great. 3rd and 8. Down the sideline. Guess who's out in front? And a saving tackle at the end of the play. And hopping away is Hill. He makes the grab. He went to the ground. He gets tripped up by DJ Reed to save a touchdown in all likelihood. But now after a 36-yard gain, Hill comes hopping off. He came out of last week's game with a hand injury for a while, got back in, and now this.
Yeah, 3rd down and long. You're going to put corners on islands. DJ Reed is very good, but you're talking about 1 of 1 with Tyreek Hill and staying with him on that slot fade. Fortunate just to catch up with him and bring him down.
So Hill on the sideline. Line of scrimmage is the 3rd. And this is Waddle. What a 1-2 punch that is. Hill and Waddle. Jordan Whitehead is right there, and Hill in some pain on the Dolphins bench.
He got behind coverage, a great throw, the timing amazing, and this gets caught there as he was coming down with Reed making that tackle from behind. But how about how they stretch you, not just vertically, they stretch you horizontally. The pre-snap movement puts so much on the eyes of the defense, especially the linebackers and safeties.
Lead the league in scoring, lead the league in yards per game. And that's incomplete. That pass off the hands of Durham Smythe, the tight end, to make it 3rd down and 2, the Jets' 29-yard line.
And the equalizer tonight for this defense is got to be the defensive front, which is obviously a strength with Quentin Williams and Jermaine Johnson. John Franklin Myers. They can get pressure without having to bring the blitz. And those guys are going to have to dominate against the Miami offense. It's beat up as far as the interior. Connor Williams is fine at center, but you got a couple backups playing Eichenberg on that right guard and Lester Cotton, the same lineup they used last week in their game.
Guess who's back? That didn't take long. Shot out one play, 3rd down and 2 now. And
first charge timeout, Miami. This will be a
taken here by
32nd
Mike
timeout.
McDaniel and the Dolphins, and we go to Kaylee.
Tyreek Hill got a quick exam of his left foot while he was on the sidelines. They spatted him up and he ran right back out there. But guys, he was on the injury report week 11 because of that foot.
I'll say a quick exam. That was like going to urgent care. Drive-through.
Well, he is so motivated, not just individually, because this guy, he's on pace to go over 2,000 yards as a receiver, which we've never seen. Obviously, Calvin Johnson had a magical year, came close with his 16 games. But he's not a selfish guy. How many times have we heard from Miami folks about how hard he works in practice, what a great teammate he is, how much he energizes everybody with his approach on a day-to-day basis?
Well, of course, he came over from Kansas City. Great amount of success there, obviously. And then the trade. And loving it in South Beach. 3rd and 2. Here's Hill. 1st down. Lots more. Bounces off a couple of tackles. Takes it to about the 10-yard line. Tackled there by DJ Reed. And you got Alec Ingold leading the way with a nice block.
Now you know it's coming. You just don't know, is he going to jet motion all the way across? I mean, Reed is out his 2nd time he's out here by himself. Now he's got to respond to this. Now he's got momentum. And instead of continuing across the field, he catches that quick throw. And look at the convoy he's got in front of him. I mean, it's tough enough to tackle this guy in space. Now you get him in space, and look at these linemen out in front, athletic, and helping him almost get to the end zone.
Drive started at its own 15 for Miami at the 12, now 1st and 10. Hill this time in the slot, fake it to him, toss it to Mostert, and stays in bounds for 3 or 4 yards. 2nd down.
And they just stay one step ahead of you with the execution. And a lot of people talk about the speed, and you should. But I think Tua Tagovailoa has taken a different step in his 2nd year with Mike McDaniel, and the execution of this offense, the things that he does pre-snap. There's so much movement, and how he is in command and how comfortable he is with what he's seeing from the defenses. He and Mike McDaniel work very, very well together and allow him to really orchestrate this offense.
It's a match made in heaven the way it looks right now.
Yep.
2nd down and 4. Toss here, slips to the outside, breaking a tackle, picks up about 1. Mostert broke away from Quincy Williams. Mostert in his 9th year in the league. You know, you're talking about speed. Guys in their 9th year in the league normally aren't what they were in the combine, but this guy is still as fast as he ever was.
Yeah, you go back and you look at his career, his first 5 years, he was just trying to make a roster. He's a lot of practice squad moments, and you think that the guy's not going to be able to do much, but look at his numbers now. I mean, he's averaging 5.2 yards a carry. I think it says it all. And a great compliment to what they do on the perimeter.
11 rushing TDs, 13 TDs total. 3rd and 3. Tua in the pocket, has time. Comes out the back door, keeps it himself, and gets upended by Whitehead inside the 5-yard line. So now you have 4th and 2. And we'll see about McDaniel's call here. So you got a man, these 2 guys were on the same staff in San Francisco. McDaniel, offensive pedigree. Sal, of course, the defensive pedigree. Leave the offense in here, right here. Who wins? 4th and 2. Hill split out. Now he comes back inside a little bit. Going that way. Can Hill pull it in? He cannot. Sauce Gardner covering on the plays. So there is a big-time matchup. The great receiver, the great corner, and the Jets win that mini battle to keep it scoreless with 6.5 to go in the opening quarter.
Great ball, just goes right through the hands that time at Tyreek Hill.
Okay, so they continue to work on Hill, even though he was out for only one play. Could not hold in. McDaniel checking with him.
Yeah, he'll say, man, I should have had that one. Look at this.
Yeah. Woo.
It's on his right arm, his non-throwing arm.
What a gash.
Chunk there.
So meanwhile, from the 5-yard line now. Second drive. Breece Hall is the running back. Fake it to him. Look out in the end zone. And he squirts it away. And it's picked up by the Dolphins at the 5-yard line. But let's see what they're going to call this to begin with. It's Jalen Phillips who's there.
That's an incompletion.
Yeah. Officials checking with each other. Was the arm coming forward? There's Carl Johnson, who used to be the head of officiating. He comes in, tells John Hussey, who tells us.
Number 7 was able to throw the ball to a receiver in the area. Incomplete pass. Second down.
That's his best play here in this early part of this game. Just somehow, some way, getting that football out of his hands. Phillips has him. That looks like it's a safety, and just before he goes down, he just flips it. And fortunately for him, it's not intentional grounding where it would be a safety. He's able to just flip it out there to Bowden.
So that offensive line reconstructed. Young trying to hold off that defense. Ain't easy. Prove it again here. Cole taken down. Raekwon Davis, number 90. And
Vic Fangio, obviously is slanting and moving his defensive line at the snap of the ball, making this offensive line that doesn't have a lot of experience working together, making them have to think after the snap, and it's freeing those backers against this run game just to get downhill in a hurry.
Yeah, that line, 2 rookies, a first-year guy, a second-year guy. You're lucky they have Tomlinson, 78. Left guard who's played every snap this season. 3rd and 10, deep drop, and he flips it out to the flat, and taking it out to the 14-yard line goes Tyler Conklin, the tight end, but short of the first, and they'll punt.
Considering you don't make it on 4th down, you put Boyle in this Jets offense that's struggling at their own 5-yard line, and now you're going to try to make them make a play, and they don't. So it's a 3 and out. Miami's going to get the ball back in great field position.
Thomas Morstead to punt. Executed a fake punt last week against Buffalo. And it led to their only scoring drive of the afternoon. Berrios back to receive it. Morstead's kick. Berrios backs up. Fields at the 36. Tackled at the 44-yard line. 4:57 remaining in the first. Tua Tagovailoa coming back out. It's so funny. Early on, a couple of years ago, people were saying, well, maybe the Chargers made a better pick. One behind Tua. They got the better of the deal. But now you look at these guys, Herbert having his issues, obviously, with the Chargers. Not all his fault, obviously, but this guy in the MVP conversation.
Well, and I think it's easy to just react to results. But I think, as you and I both talked about, the fit with Mike McDaniel and the system that they run, it's really a match made in heaven, and it's why Tua has gone to a very different level in this last year and a half.
That Jeff Wilson Jr. is the running back. He has the ball and picks up 3 to the 47-yard line. Tackled there by Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, they keep trying to run the football. They love that outside zone, and they love a stretch play to just try to get out on the perimeter and away from the interior of what this Jets defense has. Not just the 2 backers in there with Mosley and Quincy Williams, but run the ball away from Solomon Thomas and Quentin Williams, because they are disruptors.
Second and 7. Fake toss. Fired, caught, first down. Durham Smythe, the tight end, 6th year out of Notre Dame. First down.
Yeah, that's the one position they're continuing to grow, and I think Tua feels more and more comfortable. The snap a little to his right. See how he works through those progressions, keeps his footwork. And the one thing that everybody has talked about Tua since his early days at Alabama is when he gets his feet set and his footwork as good as you'll see in the league, how accurate a thrower he is, gives these receivers a chance to make plays after the catch.
Hill just ambled off to the sideline, but he's standing up along the sideline. Should be in on the next play, but off for this one. Meanwhile, here's Wilson to the 30-yard line. He goes. Alex Ingold leading the way. Number 30, the block. Former Raider. First down.
Al, I'm glad you brought that up because I think he's the unsung hero of the Mike McDaniel offense. You see Juszczyk in San Francisco. This guy's more physical. Good job of taking the linebacker Quincy Williams out, and the offensive line on that right side just opens it up. So Wilson known more as a physical back in comparison to Mostert, but a good job up front and a great job by his lead fullback Ingold.
Hill still out front of the play. Wilson again. Can he turn the corner? It's about 4 there. C.J. Mosley in on the tackle. And Hill comes back in. Mike McDaniel. I tell you what, man. He is quirky. He is authentic. And he is fun.
What did we have, about 45 minutes with him the other day?
Yeah, we had to get him off.
You had to go catch a flight. He wanted to hang out and keep talking.
Second down and 6. And that's Hill now. Throw it to him as he lined up deep in the backfield. Tries to get to the first down mark. Just a little short. DJ Reed stops him there. 3rd and 1.
This is triple option football here. Tua Tagovailoa style with Mike McDaniel. Watch the pitch man will be Hill, but he's going to throw it. Reads that. Now he can flip it out into the flat as well if the read permits it to Ingold, but instead, why not just flip it out to the speedster, Tyreek Hill.
Jeff Albrecht's done a really good job as the Jets defensive coordinator. His defense trying to stiffen here as he did on the 4th and down on the earlier series, and the pass is incomplete. Intended there for Smythe, covered there by Mosley. So they went for it on 4th down and didn't come up with a first. Turned it over, and now they're going to send in, at least for the moment, the field goal unit on the 4th and 1.
That was a heck of a play by C.J. Mosley, because the eye candy with 3rd down and short, you're thinking Tyreek Hill, and he looks that way, but that hide route coming from the left to the right, a lot of times he'll get out in the flat and be open. That time Mosley sniffed that out.
38-yard attempt for Jason Sanders. And there, folks, are your first points of the afternoon. 3-0 Eastern time. Sun goes down around 4:30 or so. Sunset, so we'll play the second half under the lights. At the Meadowlands at MetLife Stadium, 3-0 Miami, and the Jets to take over at the 25. So meanwhile, the Jets, that offense, grounded indefinitely. 48% of their points on field goals, highest rate in NFL history, minimum 10 games. They've scored a TD on only 23% of their red zone drives to get inside the 20. They bog down, lowest rate in 3 decades. And they trailed for 70% of the time, and that's the highest percentage since 98. Ugh. What do you say?
Yeah, but it's going to be a great game. We promise. I mean, they're hanging in there right now. Got to win with defense.
So far, look out! Not a great way to start, and it's a 6-yard loss here. But at least they were able to retain possession. Phillips is right there again. He's everywhere, and it'll be 2nd down and 16.
Yeah, and this is a case where the back takes his eyes off the football and starts to look where he wants to go, just assuming he's going to be able to handle the ball, and the ball's on the ground. It's been that kind of year. How fitting after the numbers we just showed you and how tough of a year. I mean, they have 9 offensive touchdowns. Think of that. Through 10 games. 9. The Dolphins scored 10 when they played Denver.
Got 70 points that day. I mean, think about that. 10 weeks or 3 hours. That pass is caught there, but a short gain for Wilson. He gets stopped after Van Gunkel makes the tackle, gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 10.
So when you see numbers like that, you're going up against a defense that's getting better, especially now that Jalen Ramsey's back. You get behind the sticks on that first down fumble. You're just trying to win field position. It's not about trying to make a big play. It's trying to flip the field and eventually hoping your defense and special teams will give you a short field to work with.
After Van Ginkel made that last 25, and with 6 seconds to go in the quarter.
Full start. Offense number 16. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Kaylee, what you got?
Guys, all the Jets' offensive struggles have kept Garrett Wilson up at night. You know, they held a players-only meeting ahead of last Sunday's game, and even though they didn't play like it, Wilson told me they feel like they are going about the process correctly to address their problems. He said there's no magic thing anyone can say. We've given the world every reason to lose faith in us. Now he says we just want to prove to ourselves that we are who we believe we are.
All right, that's 1 quarter in the books. Running clock there. 3-0 Miami. Back after this. Everybody had a great Turkey Day, sitting back and enjoying this one. It's 3rd and 15 for the Jets from the 20-yard line. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartung with you on this Black Friday. 4-man rush, a little dump off here, and nothing happening. Jerome Baker is right there to take down Breece Hall. So right now you have 102 total yards for the Jets, or for the Dolphins, and 22 for the Jets.
Yeah, and they keep hurting themselves. You know, they had to fumble by Breece Hall. Brownlee, the rookie free agent receiver, with a false start, gets them more behind the sticks at 3rd and 15, and puts that much more pressure on that offensive line.
So Morstead already his 3rd punt. This one's a beauty, fielded by Berrios at the 22. And a nice 18-yard run back up to the 40-yard line. He goes after a 60-yard boot. 40 seconds into the 2nd quarter. We check in with Kaylee. Drive starts at the 40. And looking for space on the inside, picking up 4 or 5. It's Mostert. Of course, you know, when you think about the iconic Jet, it's Joe Namath. He was in Super Bowl 3.
Yep. Called his shot, won the game. Curtis Martin, such a physical and consistent back for the Jets.
Namath, of course, is honored. Joe Klecko is also one of the Jets in the Hall of Fame. The Jets have had a lot of players who are in the Hall of Fame, but most of them spent their careers with other teams.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead.
2nd and 6. Mostert swings on the outside, but gets corralled at the line of scrimmage. Taken down there. Will McDonald is there. Also C.J. Mosley. 3rd down and 5.
Another player that's known for his ability to rush the quarterback. Watch the rookie here, the 1st-round pick, Will McDonald, get off this block, goes down, and then he doesn't give up. He's prone on the ground to make that play. That really embodies what this Jets defense is all about, how they play as a group, and how hard they play. It's really the culture that they've created here.
3rd and 5. Flag. Could be a free play, and it's a pickup of 16 to Waddle to the 44-yard line. And John Hussey will make it official.
Offside. Defense number 95. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
Quinnen Williams gained 11 on that play. 1st down at the 44.
If you're a Miami fan, the best thing you saw there is not just the free play and the conversion, but the protection. Usually this ball gets out in a hurry. In fact, Tua gets it out faster than anybody. 2.31 seconds an average on his dropbacks. That time he had to hold on to that ball and had the time to do it.
Little fake toss, rolling left, throwing, and juggled and incomplete. Intended for Tyreek Hill there. You mentioned that how quickly Tua's getting rid of the ball, but almost every quarterback. Now that's why the defensive linemen, the guys who live on sacks and make their money on sacks. They're so frustrated now.
Yeah, I mean, every week we're able to talk to these guys, and they do get frustrated because you're seeing more and more offensive staffs trying to get to this point. I don't know if anybody's as good. San Francisco with Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan, obviously similar scheme. But Tua, because he's just so efficient and he has such great footwork, gets it out quicker than anybody.
Through the middle, inside the 40-yard line, goes Mostert. Jermaine Johnson making the tackle. Too bad we don't get a chance today to see Devon Achane, that rookie who's got tremendous speed. He's been hurt, played 3 snaps last week, but inactive today.
Yeah, he's as fast as anybody they have, and they have 4 or 5 guys that can run with anybody in the league. Put them all together on one offense. It's tough to stop. And then the scheme as well, with all the pre-snap movement and the way they attack in different ways.
They could be the 4x100 relay team in Paris next summer. Pass over the middle. That's hauled in at the 32-yard line by Jeff Wilson. Quincy Williams makes that tackle with 11.5 to go in the first half. First down.
Again, Tyreek Hill moving. Watch how it affects the defense and how the safeties react to his movement, and then we're going to go the other way. So sometimes you create matchups favorably by creating space, by movement, to get the ball to 10. And then other times, at a critical moment, you move him to catch the eyes of the defense, and then you find other matchups to your advantage.
Through the 30. Of course, you see a lot of motion, a lot of shifting. The Dolphins this year, on 87% of their plays, that's 7 out of 8, have used shift or motion.
And a lot of people might say, okay, why are they doing that? And they do it for a number of different reasons, to create space. And I've talked to some of the Jets defenders on the field before the game. They say it affects our eyes, it affects our rules. When you see a movement, it's not just he's randomly going in motion. Tyreek Hill is going in full speed motion when he moves, and it makes you have to adjust and communicate, and they're trying to create matchups.
2nd and 7. Little razzle dazzle here. They got Mostert coming from the outside, coming back in, taking the ball to the 26-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down. You know, it's funny, you look at, again, McDaniel and all on those staffs with both Shanahans, with Kyle, with Sean McVay in Washington and all that. So all these guys, kind of come out of the same breed.
That same tree. Everybody kind of has their own finesse and their own touch on how they do it and the pieces they have to work with. And this offense is about speed and execution.
3rd and 6.
You're going to call timeout here.
Play clock all the way down to 1.
Second.
So
charge
McDaniel.
timeout, Miami. This will be a
take a look at. Let's see what
timeout.
McDaniel's wearing today. Give me a full body shot if you can, Pierre. I mean, here he is now. He it's like he wears everything but +4s on the sideline.
That is, look at that. He's got his shoe game going. Like, this is not your typical head coach attire. No. Bill Belichick's not going to come out in that anytime soon.
And he's got the shirt coming out. He's got the whole thing. I mean, not a fashion plate, but
well, I mean, the off-white Nikes are pretty strong play by him.
Very. And he's got the watch. He's got the the glasses. Not your typically dressed coach. Not your typical coach. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, can you think of somebody comparable?
No.
Yeah. He is a different cat, but very authentic. Very smart. 3rd down and 6. Tua buys time, throws into traffic. That's Waddle. Makes the catch and gets taken down inside the 10-yard line by Mosley. Little danger in that throw, but it works for 20 yards and a 1st down off a 3rd down play.
Well, here's Waddle going to work to the outside, and Tua, again, trusts his accuracy and his decision-making. Good job of stepping up, and it's really about this defender. He's occupied by that underneath route by Tyreek Hill, so he had enough separation there to be able to take a shot, put it out there, and let Waddle bring it in.
1st and goal, taking it to the 7-yard line, trudging ahead. Mostert, who's already carried 8 times today, but for only 15 yards.
They lead the entire league in efficiency down in this red zone area. It's because they can run the football, and you have a quarterback that's good at making quick decisions, converting 73% of the time for touchdowns.
They're first in points, first in total offense. They're first in rushing. The pass here. Here's Hill. Escapes the tackle. Into the end zone he goes for the game's first touchdown. Got away from Jordan Whitehead. Tosses the ball into the stands. And the Dolphins an extra point away from a 10-0 lead.
Whitehead's a good player, but I love how they move Hill around. He's a lot of times motioning out of there, but you got a safety on a running back. And that running back in this case happens to be the most electrifying player in Tyreek Hill. They move him into the backfield and get that matchup against the safety Whitehead.
Ooh, you know, he got married during the bye week. Sanders for the extra point. I hope that's his wife he tossed it to. We'll find out. We're on the case. Kaylee, find out. 8:21 to go to the half. 10-0 Miami. Her brother Kenny, longtime safety in the league, mainly with New Orleans. So Tyreek knew exactly where she was. She's in the first row in the end zone. Little souvenir after getting married during the bye week, and the Jets to take over at the 25. Yep. And we've got some, some wedding photos. She said she was shocked when he posed the question, but there it was. Blows a kiss. What's better than that? There's your football. And a 10-0 lead.
She's hoping maybe she can get another ball or two for the other fans that are up there with her.
I wouldn't.
She might get another.
Wouldn't doubt it.
It may happen.
Meanwhile, the Jets trying to get something going. Boyle 4 of 6, but for only 16 yards in the air. And look, with some space on the ground and getting around the corner and picking up the first down. That gets the crowd into it a little bit. Breece Hall picking up 11.
Well, this is what they want to see from Breece Hall. You know, he's got that home run ability, but this is the physicality that they want to see. It's a good block by 16. He occupies the safety right there. Now he can bounce it, use that stiff arm right there to get around the corner. So he's been running a lot of times as a slasher, as a young back. And I think as he continues to grow and shows what he can do. Remember, he's 220 pounds. He's got to be able to run with some power, and that time he did.
Now Dalvin Cook, 6 years with the Vikings, about 1,000 yards. Ball is tipped in the air and incomplete. Tipped that time by Jalen Phillips. We're talking about him all season. Number 15, third-year guy. Played his college football at Miami with a play right there, second down.
He goes after an inexperienced quarterback and disguising it. Vic Fangio, this is what he can do with his outside linebackers because they drop and other times they bring pressure. He's lined up here, and at the snap of the ball, he comes down. Boyle doesn't see that because of the movement after the snap. Catches him by surprise, almost cost him an interception.
2nd and 10. Ball back in. To the outside goes the pass. Hall takes it out to the 43-yard line where Jerome Baker makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
When they throw the ball, they're having to get the ball out in a hurry. If you've been watching the Jets, you know, Zach Wilson, sacks has been a problem all year because he holds on to the ball too much. And this offensive line, you touched on it earlier. You got some young players and some inexperienced players up there against a very qualified defensive front.
Hey, Tally Bong Jerry! Tally Bong Jerry! Turbo's out!
Boyle, look out. Sacked. 36 ball is out, but he was down. Play is over. Christian Wilkins was there for the sack. So once again, a quick out, even though they did pick up one first down.
Now he looks left. He wants to go to the quick out to Brownlee, but Jalen Ramsey takes that away, and he just didn't have a response or an answer to it. By the time he looks left and decides, okay, I wanted the rookie, he's not there, there's that offensive line concern again up front against big Christian Wilkins.
Morstead having gotten a lot of exercise. Fourth punt of the half, fielded at the 11-yard line. Berrios brings it back out to the 18. 6:09 remaining in the opening half.
I think that carried over into Alabama, and I think now you're seeing him really grow up and become his own person. I noticed that when you asked me the first question on the Zoom, I heard him answer, and the way he looked, and I just said, wow, this is such a different guy from who he was, not just early years Alabama. I'm talking about his rookie year at Miami. I think he's just grown up.
Yeah, there's no question. He talked about the Samoan family values and all. There's the family. Mom and dad are on the left. His dad wanted him to go to Alabama.
Yeah.
He wanted to go. Tua wanted to go to USC, but it's honor thy father.
That's right.
And that's how he wound up with Saban.
I'll never forget, I asked him, how'd you end up here at Alabama? He said, my dad told me I was going to Alabama.
Ever beat your way to Tuscaloosa. It's a nonstop flight. Pass is caught up at the 36-yard line. Jalen Waddle hauls it in.
And this is the timing that I find fascinating. Mike McDaniel telling us that the amount of reps that they put in. Watch when he hits his last drop in the drop. He hits that step, ball's out. He anticipates and throws the ball better on time than any quarterback that I've seen this year. And it has everything to do with how his footwork is tied into the depth of the route. And Mike McDaniel told us, he said, you know, a receiver at the top of his route separates more right as he breaks than at any time. And that's where they want the football thrown.
Toss here. Wilson. So since McDaniel got there last year, you go back to his first two seasons, 13, not bad. I mean, a rating 88, fairly good. But look at it since then, 15-8, huge TD interception ratio, 105.8, 105.7 pass rating.
And again, I think that's a credit to him and his growth, and I think it's also him fitting into Mike McDaniel's scheme and going back to that anticipation, his footwork, getting the ball out early, and having all these great receivers to throw the football to.
7-6. Tua backing up, he's going to get sacked. Back at the 30-yard line, held on. Solomon Thomas and Michael Clemens are both there in a vice. Third down after the sack.
The Jets showed man and then they dropped to zone, and I think they confused Tua. They didn't have an answer to his left. Watch him work to his left initially, and we talked about his footwork. Usually the ball's out now, but you see the linebacker C.J. Mosley dropping to take it away. I think that scared him off of it, and there's the speed up front. Thomas is able to clean it up at the end.
So 3rd and 15. Jets with 3 linemen, the hands on the ground. They send 4. Little flip here, and out to the 39-yard line goes Wilson. So they'll force a punt. Sauce Gardner making the tackle.
Well, this is the kind of game that I think the Jets thought they could have, is getting Miami behind the sticks. Miami typically dictates things. They throw on their terms, but with that sack on 2nd down, they were able to set up a very favorable 3rd and get off the field.
Jake Bailey to punt. Xavier Gibson is back. So Bailey's first punt of the afternoon. Short, wobbly kick with backspin. Flag is thrown. That takes a good bounce. The ball is loose. The ball is scrambled around for it, but see the flag here. Meanwhile, you got Bailey down on the ground, so he's trying to sell it if nothing else, and there is a flag back there as well. Irvin Charles came in, number 19. So it was 4th and 9. And so going over the options here with McDaniel.
Running into the kicker, receiving team number 19. That penalty is a 5-yard foul. Miami has elected to decline that penalty and take the result of the play.
Yeah, that was interesting because had it been 4th and 4 or something, it would have been a first down.
That's right.
4th and 9, you only get 5, so it's still going to be 4th and 4.
And they continue to make this Jets offense work the long field. Remember, what was the Jets' plan? They wanted to win with defense, special teams, try to get a turnover, try to get that short field. Instead, the entire first half, they've been deep inside their own territory, making it tougher and tougher for Boyle and this offensive line to get anything going.
Yeah, well, the Jets have run 15 plays for 33 total yards.
I think a lot of Jets fans thought anybody but Zach Wilson, it got to be that way. And they're seeing that maybe it wasn't just all on Zach Wilson. You know, right now it's an offensive line and an inexperienced quarterbacks, both of them, makes it tough.
Yeah.
And mistakes like this.
Sure. Almost on cue.
Full start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's Xavier Newman. And he was with Tennessee until I think around October 2nd. They released him. The Jets pick him up October 5th. And now here he is starting against Miami Dolphins on Black Friday. I mean, he's the right guard. I mean, so again, it's easy to point the finger at Nathaniel Hackett. It's easy to point the finger at Zach Wilson. But when you have a depleted offensive line, it's hard on anybody.
So now 1st and 15. That pass is caught. Nice gain here, 30-yard line. That's Jason Brownlee, the rookie out of Southern Mississippi. And we tick down to the 2-minute warning. The next play upcoming will be a 2nd down and 3. And there is your 2-minute warning. And here is a special look at Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, only in theaters on December the 22nd. And he's made a mark wherever he's been. They love him. It's 2nd down and 3 after the 2-minute warning. And a 3rd and short is upcoming now after Dalvin Cook picks up a 1.5 yards.
Nothing like using big wits back to sign an autograph.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's about as good as it gets. It's like a table.
He have the 10 Commandments on his back.
All right, we got a 3rd and short here. Remember, they were 0 for 11 last week on 3rd down. And they got a chance here. They're off to a slow start on these 3rd downs today. 0 for 4. Let's see if they can pick one up.
Yeah, so 0 for 11 last week, 0 for 4 today, 3rd and 1 here.
So he sees the blitz coming.
Gets it out, but can he get the first? He cannot. Hall tackled there. Hall making the stop. Crowd, of course, hates it. Dolphins are going to take
in final charge timeout, Miami.
Their final to save it.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
It's their final timeout.
Please set the game clock to 1:14, please. 1:14.
They're going to have an opportunity for that old 2 for 1 because they're going to get the ball to start the 2nd half.
Yeah, Boyle, you could see he's frustrated with himself because he thought he had man coverage, and instead with that blitz, they dropped back and played zone and came off those receivers, made a great play there. Just keep them short.
So next Thursday, back on the Thursday night train next week, we go to Texas. The Seattle Seahawks coming to town to take on the red-hot Dallas Cowboys. Had easy pickings yesterday against Washington. TNF tonight will start at 7 Eastern time. Seattle at Dallas next Thursday night on Prime.
Yeah, Dallas couldn't have looked any better last night. Seattle ran into a San Francisco team that looked like they played up to their potential. Went right through them.
Cowboys 8-3. Kickoff at 8:15. So Boyle goes back to the bench. He's 7 out of 10, but for only 35 yards, 3.5 yards per attempt. That's not going to cut it. And punt number 5 for Morstead. Good deep line drive kick fielded at the 15-yard line along the sideline. And Berrios has had a busy afternoon, bringing it back a total of 12 yards to the 27 after a 54-yard boot. 65 seconds to the half. 10-0 Dolphins.
For what the Jets can do with their scheme, but they are going to do what they do, which means a lot of pre-snap movement, trying to stretch his defense out, trying to create matchups with Tyreek Hill. A lot of times out in the flat, many times working from outside to in. It's a great play here. Just get him the ball in space, get that big offensive line in front of him and let him do damage after the catch. We'll see what they can do here with a little over a minute. No timeouts.
105. Got Waddle setting up slot left. Got Hill bottom of the screen, wide right. Tua looks, throws, picked off at the 27-yard line. Eccles, touchdown. Boy, this place has had nothing to cheer about for a long time. Going wild right now, and why not? Brandon Eccles, the pick six.
The one area that Tua, and he would be the first one to tell you this, has hurt his team is been turnovers in recent weeks. Talked to us this week about how he's got to play clean. He can't turn the football over. Not only does he turn one over before the half, he throws a pick six. We just said, how can the Jets make a game of this? Their defense.
Ooh, Zerline's kick. Well, you can't have it all, I guess. 10-6. Meanwhile, a little deja vu here. Eccles picked off Tua when he was a rookie 2 years ago.
And he's in for Michael Carter. He's right here. He's just kind of reading the eyes of Tua. I'm not sure, as accurate as Tua is. He went from the slant where he thought he would throw, and without even looking, he thought it was a good check down and a safe throw to get the ball out to the outside to Berrios. But give Eccles credit. Doesn't sink inside. Has a job to see if it just kind of get out in the flat plan zone, reads the eyes, and then steps in front of it, walks to the end zone. See, Tua's slant comes off of it, out to the flat without even taking a look at Eccles, and Eccles makes him pay for it.
And Tua has to say, haven't I seen this before? Because Eccles, as a rookie, had a pick six. Eccles has had 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions in his career. And then, of course, as they say, you can't have it all, right?
And, like I said, how do the Jets stay in a game like this? You got to count on that defense to make plays. I thought they'd give them some good field position. This time they just score themselves.
Zerline's not used to kicking extra points. Maybe that's the issue. I couldn't resist. Up to the 32-yard line on the run back here with 53 seconds and a flag. And the Dolphins starting to, for the moment, march back. John Hussey.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 43. 10-yard penalty, first down.
But when Tua shared with us this system, sometimes you're going to throw picks because you trust your receivers and you trust the scheme. And you're going to throw it early, and you hope that you're going to be able to make that play, and you and the receiver are going to be on the same page. He said in OTAs, I remember throwing 4 picks, and Mike McDaniel coming over to me, he thought he was going to be upset. He said, perfect. He's like, perfect. He said, yeah, this is not a result-oriented offense. We're trying to learn the timing and the rhythm of this. Now that was a poor decision where he didn't quite see Eccles and made the throw.
At the 23-yard line. It's a 10-yard foul. The ball he placed at the 13-yard line, first down.
But I think it tells you about the mindset of how Mike McDaniel gets inside of Tua and says, hey, you're going to make mistakes. Stay positive and keep believing.
Yeah, he works on every aspect of you as a human being. As Hill makes the catch and he'll get out of bounds. I mean, you talked about it the other day. We're on the phone with Mike, and he's talking about people becoming who they really are and how they get there. I felt like I was on a couch.
I did too. I did too. I was fascinated because I've just seen him, what you see on camera and some of the the personality, but boy, what a thoughtful guy, and a guy that has had a big impact on the mindset of some of these individual players and their approach to the game.
Unquestionably, second down 8, 48 seconds. Quick to the outside. Caught there. Waddle, who played with Tua at Alabama. College mates. Clock keeps running. They don't have a timeout. Miami will get the ball to start the second half.
I think it's important to recognize that they're not working, in turbo speed, but it just shows you the trust and confidence they go back to getting the ball to Tua and letting them throw it.
Underneath, Jets will give him 1 or 2 more of those, and that'll take us to the half. Waddle makes that catch. Get up to the 36-yard line. Spike it here. Funny, you see a spike. So Dan Marino's on the field talking to Dan before the game. Of course, that famous play where he faked the spike in a Miami Jets game and then threw a touchdown to win it.
Who did he throw that to? Ingram? I think Mark Ingram.
Yeah, there he is with Aaron Rodgers before the game.
Two of the greatest to ever do it.
Oh yeah.
Tyreek to the top here.
They're not letting him get free, and that's caught at the just shy of the first down. Waddle making the grab, 45-yard line, but he only has 9 seconds now. Trying to get into Sanders' field goal range, almost compelled right now to get it out of bounds. You don't do that hard to get a completion, a spike, and a field goal attempt within 9 seconds, but we'll see. 3rd and 1.
First timeout, New York Jets.
Just want to make
This will be
sure
a 30-second
they are
timeout.
aligned. Well, start of the game, and I said, how does a team averaging 50 in a game beat a team averaging 31 a game? Well, the pick 6 helps along the way. But the Jets, they're trying like crazy to get something going, but how do they get something going?
That's a great question.
I'm sure it is.
Because they keep getting behind the sticks. They're starting deep in their own territory with, again, this offensive line that's having a really tough game. They've had a tough season with the injuries. And I think the biggest thing is you got to continue to hope that you don't make mistakes. They've made some. They're behind the sticks. You got to keep hoping this defense puts you in a position to have a shot.
Yeah. Tua's going to throw it here. And you got it. Is that pick again? This is DJ Reed this time. DJ Reed, but there's only 2 seconds on the clock.
But we hear Tim Boyle has a strong arm. We're about to find out. 2 seconds left.
Yep.
And answer your question, what do you do? This is what you do. I mean, it sounds crazy,
right?
But this is what you have to do. You rely on the defense to do this. In the second half, you got to get turnovers or you got to get 3 and outs. You got to give your own offense a chance. This defense is doing everything every single week to give their offense some kind of chance to win a football game.
So 2 picks in the last 65 seconds. Jets now have 3 defenders back inside their 15-yard line. And we'll see what Boyle, how far he can throw it, if indeed he throws it, or they try a lateral or whatever here. Meanwhile, he just tries to get away from everybody, throws it into the end zone, into a lot of traffic, and there's a pick on the other side. And coming back from the end zone is Holland, and Holland is out to midfield, and Holland is inside the 40, and Holland is inside the 20. Can you believe this? That is insanity. That's as crazy as anything you'll ever see. You throw in a Hail Mary, and it's a Hail Mary, all right, for the defense.
If there's ever a play that embodies an entire season, this is it for the New York Jets. A Hail Mary by your own quarterback. And I want you to see it. Holland's one of the best 3 safeties in the National Football League. Right away, he's thinking about, I got a shot. I mean, the entire way, he built up more and more speed. He left all the skill behind him. All the receivers are way behind him. Now you got linemen and 1 skill guy in Breece Hall who gets blocked. And now you're asking Boyle to try to make a play right here, and he's got no chance.
99-yard interception return. Unbelievable play. Extra point is good. Crowd doesn't know which way to go right now. They were ecstatic and now they're morose.
Of the second quarter.
17-6. Yikes. Kaylee.
Well, Coach, 2 huge plays by your defense to end that half, but then a crushing one for your offense.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. We'll get back up. We'll get ready to play the second half.
What did you see unfold on that Hail Mary attempt?
Typical Hail Mary. Give them credit. Made the play, ran it down the field, and just unfortunate.
We've seen some mistakes on offense. What do you do to get your guys out of that mode?
It's a young group. We just got to keep our heads up, keep trying to find plays, keep putting stringing plays together, and attack the second half.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. Wild, crazy, woolly, the whole thing coming up after the break. State Farm halftime show from the Meadowlands. 17-6 our halftime score. New York area, 20 straight games with a touchdown pass. Dan Marino with 30 back in the mid-80s, so this is the second longest streak. Holland with that 99-yard interception return, back-to-back pick sixes. Tramon Williams of Green Bay against Atlanta in the playoffs, the last end a half. And for the Jets, a tale of woe. 2 first downs, fewest in the first half in a decade. Miami has 12, and it's 17-6. And there's Holland right back 99 yards. Whereas Don Meredith would have said 99.5. 99 yards and a half. Meanwhile, the 2 coaches. Meanwhile, you got Boyle, who was trying to effect a Hail Mary at the end, and it turned out to be disastrous. Jets kick off to start the third quarter. Start with a touchback moments ago. Kaylee with Mike McDaniel.
Coach, Javon Holland's 99-yard interception return for a touchdown. How did he do that?
How did he do it? Well, I think he caught the ball and then relied on his instincts. You know, he's a great player. Hadn't had his hands on the ball up to this point, but has been playing unbelievable, and we needed it. And he knew what time it was, so he made sure to finish the play, which was awesome.
2 interceptions by Tua in the last 2 minutes. I know it's a problem he's been trying to eliminate. What did you guys discuss at the half?
No, I think he's done a good job as of late. And then you know, when you're going against a really good defense, that stuff's going to happen, especially when they have the ball skills. And so this is a great opportunity to do what you have to do at the quarterback position, which is next play, not let it affect you, and go ahead and keep slinging it, because that's what he does.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. 2nd down and 7 after a 3-yard run by Jeff Wilson on the first scrimmage play of the third quarter. 2 of 15-23 for 171. And on 2nd and 7, he slings it out here.
Incomplete pass, 3rd down.
3rd down. If you're that kind of a defense and you're, playing, all out, and the offense is doing nothing. So if nothing else, they had to make a quarterback change. If nothing else, at some point you kind of lose one side of the room, won't you?
Yeah, I think you do. But I do think getting close to the Jets this week, they have done a really good job of staying tight. They still are pulling for each other and trying to believe in each other, but it's tough.
3rd and 3, a little flip here. That's a first down and more. There goes the cheetah, as he calls himself, Tyreek Hill.
And walked up to the line of scrimmage and pressed him, trying to take away these easy throws. But Hill in motion is just getting his hands on the ball. Watch to the top left. Jalen Waddle, who's known always to make a play. This time he knows he's got to be able to make a block to help Tyreek Hill out, and takes DJ Reed off the edge of that defense and just let the speed get around that corner.
See Hill out for a moment. How much fun is it if you're McDaniel and you got all these guys and you got a track team to make up plays? That playbook has to be off the charts.
Yeah, and I just love that with his background with Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan, what he's been able to build here. It's unique in what they've been able to put on the roster. It's different. It's his own spin based on what he's been around, and now the pieces and the quarterback that he has to work with.
5 minutes left in the third. 2nd and 7. Little spin move here. Wilson is about a yard shy of the first down.
Let's take a look at our next gen stats powered by AWS. We keep talking about the speed, and this Tyreek Hill at some point this year over 22. Achane close to 22 a couple times. Tyreek Hill. I mean, and just to put that in perspective, I mean, look at the average speed per skill position. I mean, to get to 21 and 22. I was telling you yesterday, it's like the difference between a 103-mile-an-hour fastball and let's say a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Big difference.
3rd and 2. Again, jet motion and a first down forward progress for Mostert. Moving the sticks, tackled there by Jermaine Johnson.
This drive could not